was like, come on. It's like I understand this is a remake, but if you're gonna remake it good. Improve on the former chemistry. Don't make it worse.
Yeah, but
this is worse.
What are they gonna do? Put like the blue monkey thing back in there? Like,
garbage. This is exactly the same mistake they made with the Fantastic Four movie. Instead of giving us Galactus, they gave us a stupid
near that. Don't make me
big amorphous golden glob in front of me.
Don't make me defend Goldar because I physically this was the worst part. Like this was a sin in my eyes. Absolutely, don't you dare go down that road.
I am going down that road, my friend.
This is worse than the galactic fart.
I'm not saying it's worse. I'm saying it's the same thing.
No, it is not.
Look at how generic he looks. You wouldn't know that was Goldar unless somebody told you it was Goldar. You wouldn't have known Galactus, the fart cloud was Galactus, unless somebody told you.
Galactus wasn't even like a thing. It was just like this. It was just a...
But they
tried here.
That they do show his shape later on towards the end of the movie. As he's flying up into the Galactus cloud, the cloud forms into a sort of vague shape of Galactus.
I refuse to look that up, so I'm going to call bullshit on it.
You're going to have to look it up because I am 100% right in this.
Wow, this completely, so much for not letting me get you off track because this was nowhere where this was supposed to go. There's no. Goldar
this is every bit as bad.
Fine.
No, that's garbage. That is a non-committal generic CG monster they just threw on there because they didn't want to. They didn't want to deal with people saying, "Oh, it looks stupid or fake or whatever." They just wanted. So they got some CG guys to paste a big gold monster there. Oh, that is so pathetic.
It's.
I mean, like the Power Ranger suits are bad enough. They look like a knockoff version of the Guyver suit.
Okay. The Power Ranger suits, even during the movie, and I was going to it with the buddy that I argued with, which series was better. He was very much on the same side of those were bad when we first went in there.
Mm-hmm.
He actually came out and he's like, didn't piss me off as much as I thought it would. The suits. But okay, right here, like this is the thing, and this is gonna be my biggest effing point here. You squint, this looks like Goldar.
I squint, that just looks like a big golden moose.
This looks like Goldar. You have kind of a red eye right there and everything else. Like, you watch the Fantastic Four, that looks like a cloud to me.
It looks like a big gold flying monkey.
That's what Goldar was.
Fair enough. But still, I wouldn't know that was if I was somebody who wasn't familiar with the Power Rangers and somebody asked me who that was, I wouldn't know. Unless they told me it was gold, I would have to. If somebody had shown me a side-by-side picture of Goldar, I'd say that looks nothing like him.
Does it not? Okay, it doesn't look anything like the Goldar we all know. Absolutely not. But look at everything in this movie. It doesn't look like anything we know.
No,
so
yeah,
what
that's
were they
another
gonna
problem.
do? Like all of a sudden, just say like, "Oh, you want to know what? We got one thing right, and that was fucking Goldar."
Well, that's what I'm saying. This movie shouldn't exist. This movie is a dark mark on remake history, and that's saying something because remakes in general kind of suck.
Yeah, like.
But that is every bit as bad as the Galactus Cloud, as far as I'm concerned.
Not at all.
That is every bit as bad. And the Megazord looks like crap.
Okay, the Megazord was bullshit.
Yeah, it looks like crap.
The Megazord was bullshit. I will, but I will say this, where I'm just gonna take it off right now. For as hard as you're being on it with not seeing it. Believe you me, it is definitely not sitting there and saying, hey, we're going for you. You were our target audience. Like, yeah, you want to know what? You know who their target audience was? It was the children of the guys our age who have kids. Because it's the one thing that they probably sat there and said, "Oh, it's my turn to deal with the kids."
Yeah, but okay, hang on.
I'm gonna bring them, and they have a cute little like that at the
hang
very
on.
end of the damn movie. They have a little thing for it.
I gotta
for
say
the
something
adults.
here. I gotta say something.
Yeah, what's
here.
up?
Okay, our kids. If I have kids, if you have kids, whatever, aren't going to know what the hell Power Rangers are. What's that?
The poor bastards.
The poor No, they're not going to know what the fuck Power Rangers are. Definitely, if I have anything to say about it, but they're not going to care. That's something the old people liked to watch. So if you're making this to appeal to the younger generation, I'm sorry. I don't know, how well did this movie do?
It did okay. I think enough to possibly do a sequel. They did tease that at the end. But I don't know.
Are they going to make another Ninja Turtles movie?
God, if so, it's not going to be Bay, because I think Bay is selling off all this shit.
Because I think honestly that this is this is at least as bad as the Ninja Turtles movies.
Okay, feet to the fire, gun to the head. You have to either A, binge watch the entirety of the Transformers, watch 2 showings back to back of the both Ninja Turtle movies, or watch 3 hours of the Power Rangers. This iteration of the Power Rangers.
Okay, a back-to-back rewatching of Ninja Turtles,
The sequels, or the both movies.
Both movies versus watching 3 hours worth of the Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, that's probably 2 showings and maybe a half. Or you watch the entirety of the.
I would rather go back and watch the old Power Rangers.
No. It's this movie.
Yeah, I know.
So you're saying I'd rather eat the bullet?
Honestly, I've never seen this movie. I'll admit that I've never seen this movie, so I can't really say. But I have seen the Ninja Turtles movie, and I wanted to die.
I wanted to die.
So I guess go for the experience I haven't had yet. Why not? Let's make me more jaded and bitter.
Transformers. Well, okay. This is the other thing. Ninja Turtles, even though it was a cult phenomenon in the 80s, I think in the 90s that's where it really became something. Power Rangers overseas in the 80s, 90s became something.
Yeah.
Transformers, they were a thing forever.
It was big. It was big when it.
This
came
comes
out.
down to what I was saying in our Breath of the Wild Megalodon episode. The 90s fucking really sucked.
Yeah, no, the 90s were not that great.
Yeah,
I keep trying to tell people
yeah, shut the fuck up about the 90s. I'm a 90s baby. You should be shot. I'm not saying killed. I'm just saying you should be shot, maybe in the shoulder.
You should just shut up and stop saying how great the 90s were, because I think like the best parts of the 90s more or less just stayed in the 90s. You know,
There's no great, like, look at the effing, like, the fashion was bullshit. Everyone liked that, like, triangle, like, really weird nonsense. It was so fucking weird.
There was the Macarena. That made me want to shoot myself in the head.
That tricked everybody to thinking that maybe white people can dance, but they really they still can't.
Speak for yourself, buddy. But as for that, yeah, that's. But you know, at the same time, be true to yourself. This movie, this trailer that you're showing me, it looks it looks like when an old man dyes his gray hair black, and starts wearing baggy pants and turning his baseball cap backward. It's just sad, creepy, and pathetic. No, screw this movie. Screw the Power Rangers movies. Screw the Turtles movies. I meant to say, since God willing, there will only ever be one Power Rangers movie. But if you were going to do it, then you should just stay. To thine own self be true. Stick to your roots. Stick to what made you popular. Let people make their own assessment of it. Speaking of making assessments, we actually had I had a whole thing written up today of what we were going to do, and we just got mega sidetracked.
Okay, let me ask you: do you want to? I think
I still want to talk about these things.
About these things. Okay.
And the night is still young.
Okay.
So I say we go ahead and do it. 2017. It wasn't so bad. It was better than 2016. Although, I still contend that 2016 is one of the best years of my life. I know most of you out there hated it, but hey, I had a pretty good time because I was focused on building myself, and that's what I suggest you do for all the following years. But we did. Couchman calls it the Megalodon Show, but it was actually the 70 follower extravaganza.
Right.
We did an all-night broadcast, and now we're into the year of 2018. Okay. With that said, there are many games that we're looking forward to in 2018. I myself don't have that many, shockingly. Once Couchman returns from the great wild world of the outside studio, I will go ahead and say to him this.
I'm back.
Couchman, I want you to take a guess at how many games I'm actually looking forward to in 2018.
I was looking at a list, and for myself, it was only a few. So I'm going to sit there and say, I'll say 3 for you.
That's a pretty good guess. Well, let's go ahead and trot out our first game trailer. I think this is a game you're excited for. Wait, okay, no, go ahead and play it.
I was going to say,
this is the trailer for Darksiders 3, and I've only played part of Darksiders 1 and Darksiders 2. I'm currently in the process of finishing Darksiders 2.
So wait, you only finished how many? You didn't finish 1?
No.
But you're still a fan of it? Oh.
Well, it's not so much that I'm a fan. It's just it's not horrible, And when you get to be my age, you start to look and think, you know what? You just got to go with what you find the least objectionable and just roll with it. Team Rocket's blasting off at the speed of light.
Oh, now I understand what you were going for.
Yeah,
there.
she totally looks like Jessie from Team Rocket. Gone all BDSM, which, by the way, I'm not objecting to.
I'm going to say, no, that's fine.
That would be the Charred Council.
So wait, so is she a Fury?
She's Fury.
Oh, okay.
That's the other. We were trying to figure out what the other horseman was. We have War, Death, Strife, and now Fury. Okay, so I'm wondering, are we going to see Strife? Probably not. Yeah. I haven't gotten that far in Darksiders 2, by the way. Which, by the way, this is a huge spoiler for me because it clearly shows that my efforts were in vain. I'm not going to free my brother War from his captivity because we're clearly seeing him in captivity right now.
Right. But okay, this is the thing with this. It's off the screen.
Go ahead.
It's off the screen. But okay, for those who don't know much about this franchise, it started I want to say 2009. It started 9 with Darksiders, just Darksiders, and you play as War, and it was made to be a God of War knockoff. Like that's how they sat there and said it. They were like, if you liked God of War, you're gonna like this, and it did very well.
It's actually more like Zelda.
No.
No,
Because-
yes, it is. Darksiders 1 and 2. It's a lot more like Zelda.
Well, this is and again, this is just what they kind of sat there and said. This is how they were going to pull this all out. I've forgotten what freaking interview it was. I think it was like an E3 in 2012 when 2 was coming out. They were sitting there and saying like, "Hey, War was very much like in our eyes, it was very much like God of War. 2 is coming out. We're going to make it more Zelda. It's going to be an action-adventure game, and there's going to be some puzzles." Okay, cool. But the way they were sitting there and they're explaining it, they were going to not take shots at, but emulate some of the better games. Fury or Pestilence or whatever the hell this was supposed to be,
That's Fury.
If the original company still had it, they actually wanted to make this a first-person shooter. And I'm not going to lie, I really wanted to see them try it. I thought this was a brilliant idea where it was the same world, same characters and everything else, but every single one of them played very differently. I think seeing Fury as a first-person shooter would have been cool. The reason I'm saying I'm about 80% sure it was Fury because they were saying like, "Oh yeah,
That's
no,
Fury.
she's going to dual wield these pistols, blah blah," and it's going like each time you go through, you're going to be able to pick up like different. You're going to upgrade your ammo, and there's going to be like these cool like one-shot kills and everything else. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be really cool. Unfortunately, Darksiders 2, even though it got really good reviews and everything else, I don't think it's sold well. But like the company obviously sold it off, and now it looks like they're just going to sit there and do the same old, which I'm kind of upset about.
Well, I mean, I want to agree with you on that much. It's like it's not a bad idea to experiment a little, but do we really need another first-person shooter?
I would love to see them do a first-person shooter. Absolutely, I think that would have been cool.
I think they were probably thinking the same thing I am. Is like, does the world really need another first-person shooter?
Yeah. Okay. Does it really need one? No, but
The world also doesn't need another nerd podcast. So I'll concede to you that maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. I mean, hell, I still play first-person shooters. It's just one can't help but notice there is an abundance of them.
let me ask you this: do you still find that to be true?
What?
Still, like 2017, I don't think was the year. The year of the first-person shooter was definitely 2009, 10, 11, 12 for sure. But then after 12, I feel like okay, you had your Call of Duties, you had your Battlefields, but
Here's the thing.
meh.
We get a new Call of Duty and Battlefield every year.
Yes.
And that's sort of, people sort of don't take that into account because we've gotten so fatigued by it that we just don't notice it anymore. But yeah, I count that as another first-person shooter every time it happens.
Yes. No, you have to.
And I think, yes, we are a bit oversaturated. But,
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you count 7 days as a first-person shooter?
7 Days to Die? Absolutely.
Okay. You see, like something like that, to me, I don't count that as a first-person shooter because I feel like that is such a secondary,
I wouldn't
thought
count
to
it.
it.
I wouldn't count that as a first-person shooter if there weren't zombies in it.
Well, then, okay,
that's
then
kind of a big
consider
factor.
Do you
because
consider Minecraft a first-person shooter? It has zombies in it, and you
It's
can
definitely
shoot.
It's definitely a first-person game,
Right.
but the only thing you shoot is arrows primarily, so not a first-person shooter. But I almost would count that in the same category.
Ooh.
It sort of skirts the line there.
Right.
Same thing goes for games like Skyrim.
Yeah. Okay. Skyrim, Fallout, but you can sit there and toggle between third and first.
Yeah, and that's how they sort of,
Get away with
squeaked
it.
on by
Yeah.
getting lumped into that category. Mm-hmm. It is nice to see them tone it down, but like, it still feels a little fresh. The wound feels a bit fresh.
Right.
From the furious spanking we got from the amount of FPSs coming out.
No,
Not even
I
including
agree, yeah.
not even including the indie titles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those too. So
We're forgetting about the first-person horror shooters.
yeah,
And those, you want to know what? I feel like those I'm running out on like I was with the military first-person shooters. Because I feel like every single horror game is a first-person shooter that guns really don't do dick. And I'm like, okay, cool. Here comes the jump scare. Run this way. Turn off the light. Hide under the bed. Cool.
wow. I was going to say I would think that first person is the ideal medium for a horror game, but
I agree with you, but it's one of those things I'm like, hell, you saw something work so great with Resident Evil with the third-person view and the tank controls and everything else. But is that such a damn like nuisance nowadays? Absolutely, and I can understand why. And I guess VR is kind of, I mean, how can you not have a first-person view in VR, I guess.
Yeah, I mean if VR ever really takes off, I don't mean like how it is right now. Now it still just seems kind of gimmicky.
Oh, it's a niche, but I think it's doing better than, not as good as they were hoping. I think it's doing better than I think you think it's doing.
Well, on that topic, I think that if VR is ever really going to take off, and I'm talking true virtual reality, I'm talking like the holodeck on Star Trek.
Okay.
And I want everyone to, because I got into a big fight with Johnny Homicide back in the Loserville days. I had a huge argument with him about that. He just refused to see the difference between what we have now in terms of VR. Like the best VR experience that I've seen so far,
Porn.
besides porn, besides having one of those fleshlights on a little vibrator thing. No, the best VR experience that I've ever seen has been a rather skinny guy on like a treadmill. He was playing Fallout, and he was on like a omnidirectional treadmill with a VR headset, and he even had I think he had like a prop gun in his hand. So just so that he could simulate the movement. That's the best I've seen so far. But if we, the kind of VR I want to see is the holodeck from Star Trek. That's the only instance in which I'll consider it a complete success.
Let me ask you
that doesn't mean anything beyond that can't be fun.
Right. But that's a gimmicky, like almost. It's just another Wii, even though the Wii was tremendously fun and everything else, but again, it was a gimmick that did something very, very well and used it when necessary.
It almost utilized the Wii controls, but that's a different story.
No, I hear you. Okay.
It didn't quite live up to its full potential. Speaking of living up to one's full potential, Couchman, I think this is a game you're looking forward to. I'm sort of just indifferent towards.
Okay. I am looking forward to this game, but I am more interested in how this was supposed to come out this year. And it's also Insomniac Games, so that's great. Marvel, sweet.
Aren't they the ones who did Spyro the Dragon?
Yes. Yes. But like this is the Sony Spider-Man game. I'm very interested in seeing how this is going to happen, especially with all the. I'm so much more interested in the. And good God, does that just look amazing? I don't understand the white spider. Don't ask me about it. But like the whole like who owns Spider-Man now? How much of this is canon?
I didn't think it was possible to make it more like he was wearing pajamas, but they somehow managed to do it.
Yeah, right. But like, oh wow, this is actually some gameplay. I didn't notice that. But like, this looks beautiful.
What Spider-Man is this? Is it just its own thing? Is it
like, and that's
is it
kinda,
based on a movie?
No, this is its own thing, and I actually think like, and this is the cool thing. It's sitting there and saying, okay, F the whole origin story, F that. You're Spider-Man. You have all the abilities that you possibly can.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, right. No, it's definitely very much they sat there and they said, hey,
Ooh.
the Arkham games were fantastic. Let's Spider-Man that bitch up. But like this is an older Peter Parker. Spoilers if you didn't know who Spider-Man was, I guess.
All right, like nobody did.
Yeah, right.
Everybody in New York knows who Spider-Man is.
Yeah, right. But like
He's not supposed to be the movie Spider-Man, is he?
No, this is not the movie Spider-Man. And like that was the big
that'd be
thing they
stupid.
kept on saying. They're like, look, this is not the movie Spider-Man, all this other nonsense. And
I'm glad of that, actually.
like I don't like
This is looking way cooler than I expected it.
right. No, and yeah, we're kind of just being dumbfounded. But like this is all in engine too. Like look at how beautiful this is.
Yeah,
Like
no,
you guys at home we stream in 720. Like we're watching on a 1080p TV. I can't wait to sit there and chuck this on a 4K monitor and just goo over it.
I am not someone for whom frame rates is a selling point.
Well, that's not frame rates. Frame rates are completely
whatever.
different. But I mean, it looks really cool. I am a sucker for freaking open worlds, and I am a sucker for superheroes. And I hate to say it, Spider-Man, like many other, that was my first favorite. Like loved Batman, but Spider-Man was the one you could sit there and really, understand. He was the wisecracking SOB.
Oh, everybody likes Spidey.
Right.
He's so relatable. He's the ultimate underdog.
Oh my God.
That was pretty sweet.
Did you see the new movie?
No, I am not in the least bit interested.
I kind of wish I didn't. It wasn't bad. It was just one of those things. Like this to me, okay. Much like well, okay, this is the problem with superheroes, just period, right? With comic book superheroes, blah blah blah, movie superheroes and everything else. They never really age. The only one that has sat there and kind of aged with you, that was Tim Drake. You saw him as a child as Robin, teenage as Robin, grow up into Nightwing, and now he's his own guy. To me, being a more mature Peter Parker, but still having the I love life type of deal. Oh my God, this just brings back the PlayStation 2 stuff. Oh my God, this is Negative Man. I didn't realize.
Negative Man.
Yeah.
Who the hell's Negative Man?
Negative Man is a guy, when he goes full, oh, okay, I hate to say it. It's the only way I can say it, and it actually makes sense. He's kind of doing it right now. He's kind of going, his skin's turning black when he's...
We're in danger of becoming a reaction channel. Go ahead and cut it.
Okay, no problem.
This is not a reaction channel.
Right. No, but I mean, to me, this looks amazing, and we saw some...
It does look pretty...
It looks awesome.
It does look pretty spectacular.
I hate his
you can leave it
shoes.
play here in the studio. Yeah, he looks like he's wearing jammies.
But it makes sense because it's not day one Spider-Man. It is oh, I've been doing this for a hot minute.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm glad to know that it's not. That actually does make me a little bit excited for this.
Oh, good.
Knowing that it's not going to be the movie Spider-Man, because I saw the previews for that. Like the minute I saw Tony Stark appear in it, I was like, all right, no, this is just how you sell tickets for the next Avengers movie.
Oh my God, that was a.
It completely deflated any. I mean, I was already, I've already got Spider-Man fatigue in terms of cinema, but to sit there and make it even worse by including, better catch the next Avengers movie. It's like, all right, I'm
Right.
I'm out.
Right.
Parties over. You are transfixed on that trailer.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
We're done.
It's
We're
totally
done.
okay. It looks good. It looks like fun.
Yeah, it looks fun. I'm excited for it, but the reason I'm excited for it is, and this is going to sound really stupid, because I think this was shown, I want to say, for the 2017, so it was 2016. So it was supposed to come out 2017. I should be playing this right now and telling you, oh, I'm sick, I can't do a podcast.
That would be a good excuse.
Right.
You want to know something? I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
Finish your thought.
But, I mean, hell, if they sat there and said, hey, there was some shit wrong, and what we're seeing right now this is physically the game. They're pushing buttons right now. If they sat there and said, hey,
good.
There's something wrong with this, and we have to sit there and fine-tune it, like, oh my God. I'm not saying this is going to be a perfect game whatsoever. No, but this is going to be a fun game.
That brings me to a point I was going to make. I've never played a truly bad Spider-Man game. I've played quite a few, surprisingly. I played the one that came out for the PlayStation 1, and I loved it.
The one with Venom?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I loved how much of a goofball Venom was.
Yeah, right.
I mean, there are probably fans of Venom who hated that, but it was pretty hilarious.
Right.
But the game itself was fun. Mm-hmm. It totally. You got to understand, you youngins out there. This is before superhero games could actually be really good.
Well, yeah, but Spider-Man was at least in my
regulations. It was a glimpse into the future of the notion that Spider-Man games, superhero games, could actually be good.
Right.
So I played and replayed that game more times than I care to go into. I've also played the ones I played a couple of them for Super Nintendo, and I had a blast playing those too. I played the Ultimate. I played a teeny tiny bit of the one that came out during the Tobey Maguire movies.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really, I got to figure, you got to really work hard to mess up a Spider-Man game. So I don't even want to imagine what a bad Spider-Man game looks like.
Man, but Spider-Man was the one that sat there and said hey, okay, without Spider-Man, you don't get Arkham.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty fair.
And I will say this, without Spider-Man 2, a freaking movie video game, you don't get a lot of other games. That game was huge, it was free roaming, and the amount of crap you could do, you could probably go back and play it now and still have a blast.
Yeah, I don't know about the PlayStation 1 game though. That game has probably not aged well. I'd be willing to bet.
Yeah.
But I still loved it. I loved that you could tie up bad guys with Spidey's web.
Yeah.
I loved that you were crawling through vents. You were swinging from building to building. That's the kind of thing. So yeah, I'm actually in real time. I'm excited now. That game looks like it's going to be a blast. That spider web mine that he laid, that was awesome.
Yeah, right.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no. But that, and with that being said, I mean, it's showing you hey, we're gonna have environmental nonsense, and even they had that crane thing. That's cool. That's really cool.
That looked that looked amazing and awesome. And speaking of amazing and awesome, there is one for which we do not have a trailer pulled up. There is a game that I'm excited for, and I specifically did not tell you to pull it up because
I'm like, whoa, what didn't I do?
Because it's on both counts. Actually, it was my fault. Because we don't actually know when it's supposed to come out. I don't know when it's Metroid Prime 4.
Oh.
I don't know when it's supposed to come out. I see a bunch of. I looked it up online, and all I found were a bunch of pre-order now on Amazon Prime, and it's and then some idiot said that it comes out on. It was coming out on December 29th. It's like, if that's true, why haven't I seen it? Why aren't people making a big deal out of it? I would think that even a someone with as much perception as a garden slug as myself would have seen or heard something about it by now. So I gotta figure that person was full of crap. Whether it comes out in 2018 or not, I am really excited for it. I hope it does come out. I saw something that was like an interview with a Nintendo executive saying that it was supposed to come out this year, but I don't know for sure. If you know, please feel free to let us know in the comments, or email me. You got my email address down below.
Call me. His number is.
Follow me on Twitter at Mayor Chironius. Shout out to me. I'll get back to you. Trust me, I got nothing better to do. But
than all the Twitter and Twitch monies you're making.
Oh yeah, all 1/3 of a centimeter of it. I'm eager to see everybody's bounty hunting babe get back in action. Metroid Prime was a surprisingly good game to me because I had never played any Metroid game previously. Then I played right after that I played Metroid Prime Zero, or not Metroid Prime, Metroid Zero Mission for the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Oh, that game kicked ass. I liked the part where you were just running around and without your armor. You had to hide from the space pirates. That was cool. That added a nice bit of variety to it. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with this. I know I came down on FPSs, but like I said, there's still a place for them in this world.
There's still a place for them in this fucking world.
Who knows? It might not even be first person. I doubt it. It's probably going to be first person. My brother, is equally as into the stuff as I am, he just has a better sense of getting thingies organized than he's more organized than I am. So he should probably be doing this show. He was poo-pooing it, saying that it's another first person. Bleh. But hey, at least we're getting another Metroid game.
I am not. This one I could leave on the table.
Really?
This one I could leave on the table. I've never been the biggest Metroid fan. I played the classic.
Oh, Triggered, you're just a hater.
Yeah, right. I played the classic. I loved it. I loved and this is when I was a kid. I was like 7 when I played the first one. And I'm like, oh, dude, you're a chick? And that's what I'm supposed to be like. Oh, dude, it's a boy clothes. That's stupid. I remember sitting there going like, oh, that's really cool. I don't know if I've been a chick in a video game yet. And thinking that was cool. So I don't want to hear he likes sitting there and saying shit's metal and everything he wants to play is large guys with fucking bulging muscles and fucking Viking helmets. No. But it's one of those things. I don't. The story doesn't catch me, which it should. I don't know why it doesn't. It just doesn't.
Metroid has never really been all about the story. It's more about the gameplay itself. Metroid is the reason that we have games like Batman Arkham, the Arkham games, or Castlevania Symphony of the Night. All of those games have been copying the Metroid style.
Yeah.
Of gear-based gameplay. You get with each bit, your progression isn't so much measured in collecting points and leveling up a perk tree, but rather the pieces of equipment that you get.
Yes.
Which is an interesting way to play. A nice change of pace, honestly, because pretty much all games now you've got a perk tree to go through. That's another thing that we're oversaturated with, and I don't think we can come back to that. I was actually going to address what you said about finding out that she was a girl.
Right.
Am I the only one whose world wasn't completely turned on its head?
No, I just told you I thought it was neat.
I mean, yeah, like it's
that was
it's
my
like
reaction.
Oh, neat. But to hear people talk about it on the internet is like, whoa, what? Oh my God, I can't believe it. It's like no, it's just okay. It's a chick. Yeah, chicks can do stuff.
Oh, that was. Oh my God, I remember playing this with a buddy now. Holy shit! Because he had that reaction. He had that reaction of like, what the fuck? And he's like, why wasn't her suit like pink then?
Wow, your friend is a real chauvinist pig.
We were 7 or 5 years old.
Don't justify it.
Like, what? I'm sorry, we lived in the shitty 90s where, you're a girl, here's pink. All right? I don't want to hear it.
That's a different, that's, all joking aside.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, but like, it's really funny because you brought that up and I was like, yeah, no, oh my God, I do totally remember like sitting Indian style in front of a TV, playing this on the Super Nintendo, and then just having oh, neat, she's a girl. And he going like, no, it's a guy with long hair. Wait, no, that is a chick.
No, yeah, it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't. I will say this though, just as a general rule, I have a hard time identifying with the character if it's female because I'm not a female. But I'm still on board for the game if it's a good game. So take from that what you will. But it didn't surprise me and it didn't decrease the value of the game in any way. Obviously, I love Metroid. I've actually picked up the one for Super Nintendo, Super Metroid. That's hard to figure out.
Yeah.
I never realized because like my friend was playing it when we were kids. I never realized how freaking dark that opening is. All the scientists are dead. Like the very first screen you see is like an establishing shot of the scientists all just laying prone on the floor with a broken cage where the Metroid is. They've all been gunned down by space pirates or something. Oh no, wait, Ridley killed them, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. That's another thing. People always talk about top 10 things that were darker than you thought they were in the 90s. It's
God, we hate the 90s.
Yeah, we were bashing the 90s pretty hardcore tonight. Trust me, this was not planned. I have the list of things I was going to talk about right in front of me.
But, and right on that list, all it says is
shit on the
90s.
Shit on
like
the 90s.
1,000 times we turn the page over, and it's just physically
actual shit.
It's physically a stick figure, butt fucking the 90s. We might have some things to talk about.
I'm cutting all the eyes out of the 90s every photo. You know what? Because 90 has an eye in it, that could totally work. Holy crap, I just blew my own mind.
I just went cross-eyed. There's some good movies in the 90s. I'll give Austin Powers.
If Austin Powers is your best example, I am not hiring you to be the ambassador of the 90s, okay?
What's wrong with Austin Powers?
Okay. I'm just going to go ahead
Metroid.
and breeze by that one. Oh, good Lord. So Metroid Prime 4, I'm looking forward to it. I hope I can get a Switch in time to actually play it.
I was going to say, and I like I said, I'm not. I could leave it or take it. I own a Switch, and I'm like, meh.
Oh. Hopefully.
It better
Hopefully.
better come out later because I don't have the money to get one.
I hope that opinion changes. I really do.
Because I don't want to buy a Switch.
Now, speaking of opinion, I have no opinion whatsoever on this because I literally knew nothing about it.
Is this my most anticipated game we're talking about?
No, actually, no, I don't think it is. This game. Go ahead and roll the trailer.
Is it this?
Yeah.
Oh, no, then yes, this is absolutely my most anticipated game we're talking about.
You see, I had no prior knowledge of this game before I saw the trailer.
Oh my god, she has wolf ears. I didn't realize that. Or are they cat ears?
That's actually a he.
No, that is not a he.
His name is I think it's Oliver Pettywhisker.
Bullshit. No, you didn't just fucking tell me the honest to God's truth.
That is the honest truth. But I mean,
oh my god, this game's beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm in love with this woman.
I only just caught the jiggle physics.
That's all, folks. We're gonna end on a high note. I just caught the jizz. Yeah, that's
got
good.
The jizzle, nice upskirt. What do you think you're doing?
Okay, this looks like if Studio Ghibli made a game.
Actually, Studio Ghibli did take part, at least in.
Oh my god, I do need to play this game.
Yeah.
I love Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, you weren't.
This is my favorite character.
Yeah.
We don't have the audio up.
Yeah, that's a shame. But trust me, watch this video for yourselves.
Right.
This game looks amazing. I saw the minute I saw this trailer, I was like, you know what? I don't know what this is, but I got to find out.
No, this is beautiful, man.
It looks absolutely charming and whimsical, and I feel like it's like many of the Ghibli films, it's probably going to totally sweep me away and make me want to cry and just, oh, the world is so beautiful,
Dude,
like they often do.
Freaking show this to anybody that sits there and says video games is not a true art, and watch their effing face turn to shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not even a freaking weeaboo, but you know, honestly, anime face is a big turnoff. Anytime I see a character with an anime face, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to play this game. However, my anticipation grew as I actually started to look into this movie. I started to do some research.
You called it a movie, yeah.
A movie. It looks like a movie.
It does. It looks fantastic.
It looks
I can't
like
get over that. They could literally sit there and walk down the street and be like, game over. I'd be like, wow, this looks really good. Like,
yeah, it's called Nino. I'm going to butcher the name.
You are gonna kill this name.
I know I'm gonna absolutely butcher it, but Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom. I may have butchered the name, but that doesn't matter. As I did more research into it, I saw all I had to do was see the name Studio Ghibli flashed on. I was like, okay, I'm in.
Wait, it did, so
But also Level 5 Games, Bandai Namco. For those of you who are unaware, Level 5 is responsible for games like Dragon Quest VIII and Professor Layton, both of which are amazing properties.
over my head.
Okay, well, I don't know if I can properly convey to you just how great Dragon Quest, really, any of the Dragon Quest games.
I think I know what Dragon Quest is.
But Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King, that introduced me to the Dragon Quest series, and what an introduction it was. I was not, when I first picked that game up, my buddy said, hey, you should check this game out. I was not aware of what I was in store for. But what I actually got was a huge, deep, absolutely captivating world of characters and adventure and charm and whimsy, the likes of which I had not seen in years. Yeah, it was turn-based gameplay, which is usually a turn-off for me, but it didn't matter because I was just so into it that by the time I realized that it was turn-based, it was already too late. I didn't care.
It was already too late. I was too far in.
I was enjoying. I was actually more interested in the story itself because one of the great things about that game. You've never played Part 8?
I've never played any Dragon Quest game.
Okay, well, if you're gonna start anywhere, I would say probably start at 8.
Such a weird ass number to start on.
It is,
okay.
but I've seen some of the older ones. Their style of gameplay I'm not too much into because a lot of it is just like static shots of the enemy and like a slash motion over it. That's how the attacks are played out. Kind of like for
the Pokemons.
For you 90s kids, hipster nerds, kind of like Earthbound.
Wow, you're even a bigger hipster than they are. You just said Earthbound instead of Evan saying Pokemons.
Well, because Pokemon, you at least get 2 images.
I hate you sometimes.
My point being is that even when you think that game is over, it's not over.
Oh.
And when the moment I realized it, it blew my freaking mind.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah, it's a great game. I highly recommend it to anybody looking to break into the series, or at least get the Chironius experience.
Right. I'm going to sit there and say this with that. I'm just going to call it the Studio Ghibli game. Okay.
Well, call it Nino.
Nino, the Nino game. There is a very high possibility I will never play that game.
Yeah.
But I will never say a bad thing about it because I've never played it. Because I will just sing its praises. From
yeah,
what
that's how you do a trailer.
Oh my God, what an effing workaround. Yeah, that was beautifully done. Like, oh my God, does that trailer sit there and go, I might not, to tell you the honest truth, I probably got as much joy out of that trailer that I did if I were to play that game.
Yeah, the trailer filled me with pure joy. So,
yes. So
yeah, I got the same vibe. That's how you do a trailer. That I am definitely going to check it out. I might not buy it right away. I'm probably going to either watch a gameplay of it.
That's probably how
I might, if possible, I'll rent it because I would much rather actually physically play it than watch somebody play it. Bottom line is,
watch us
I'm
play
interested.
it in the near future.
I'm interested, and there's a good chance I will buy it.
Nah, I think that's all something like a sequel game. I've never even heard of this. I don't give a crap. I will just go play that. I would rather just watch that game. I don't need to go, figure out this world or anything else. I guarantee the story is something just beautiful, and because of who this company is working with, or who this game had its grubby little fingerprints all over, I wouldn't be surprised if you're sitting there fighting back tears. Wouldn't be surprised if you do have the pure childhood joy, and it wouldn't surprise me if I guess those are the two big ones. If a video game can make you cry, it's a good game.
I'm trying to think if there was ever a video game that made me cry. Now that you... Oh! Yeah, there was. How about you?
Yes.
Which game? I swear to God, if you say Last of Us, I'm going to throw something at you.
No, I hated that game. I hated that game. You might not throw something at me. You might punch me, though.
Okay.
And a lot of people hate this, but Mass Effect 3,
what?
I had a little tear in my eye.
Really?
Because it was the story of my guy who I tried to make as close to like what I would physically do in this situation. So I was like, oh my God, yes, this is how everything... I don't really want to die, but I have to go do this. And I loved that story, and I hate that it's dead. I hate so much that it is dead. You have no idea how much. There's another better answer, but that was probably my most recent one.
I am physically disgusted at you.
I know. Okay, what about you?
Me? Okay. Bear in mind I was 15 at the time. This is probably more embarrassing than your Mass Effect thing.
I don't know.
The first Kingdom Hearts game.
Oh.
That I feel like a teenage girl just saying that.
I know.
But seriously, at the end where Kyrie finds the cave painting that what's his nuts made of her, you know, and she started crying. I was like, all right, I'm done. That was beautiful.
But this is the thing. Okay. Final Fantasy, Square, all that other stuff. Yeah, believe you me, I know people that sat there and say, I will still bawl my eyes out when what the fuck her name is dies in 7. So, like, I think that, and also that Square sat there and got the rights to beloved, iconic movie Disney characters and chucked it together in this really whimsical and fun story that, yeah, you grew to like because everything was so Disney loving anime bullshit.
Oh, that's right. Rub my balls a little more.
Yeah, right. But hold up. This is when they weren't doing well.
What, Disney?
Yeah.
Disney's never not doing well.
Okay, compared to the gajillion dollar mecca it is now, this is when they were sitting there and saying, "You want to know what?
Oh,
yeah,
I stuffed my shoe."
Okay, but this is the thing. They sat there and said, "Yes, Square, we will allow you to use our characters as long as you pay us this amount of money for it." There's no possible way in hell Disney's going to allow anybody to make another effing thing with anything in it. Now, they are trying to buy back all their rights.
Is that why the Kingdom Hearts 3 game has been pushed back so much?
I'm surprised we didn't put that in here.
That's because I'm really not all that excited about it.
About Kingdom Hearts. I hate saying it, but no.
I've outgrown Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, that's sad. That might be that's actually really sad of you to say.
I don't know
why, but wow,
well, it's
really
like
made me sad.
They took too long, you know, and the feelings I had for it was I would probably describe it as puppy love. You know, it's that's the kind of thing you get over. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm sorry if you're. I mean, who gives a shit about my opinion at this point anyway?
God, I hope somebody should be listening.
Oh, somebody does, but definitely not. I can't imagine I'd be the target demographic. You know, someone all embittered and jaded like myself. But
did you play 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Then yeah, you have to be the target demographic.
Then that's a problem because you waited too damn long. You sat on this for way too long.
You blue balled me too much that my balls physically fell off.
And it's
my
like
body.
and that's the thing. I'm somebody who believes in taking your time to get the utmost quality out of your game. But you know what?
Right.
Speaking of quality games, let's get to one that needs no introduction. Couchman, go ahead and spin that shit.
Alrighty.
I think we've all sort of been looking forward to this particular game.
I cannot believe you are this. Like, I was really waiting for you just to shit on this.
Shit on it? Hell no. I liked Red Dead Redemption.
Oh my god, just give it to me now.
I know.
I'm sorry. I know with Spider-Man, I'm sitting there going like, oh, it's totally cool. It sat there and it postponed a year. Dude, I remember when the first trailer of this came out, it was the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And I remember calling you while in saying, are you watching the Super Bowl? And you're like, are you high?
Yeah, it's like since when do I watch
Yeah.
the Super Bowl?
Because I remember sitting there going like, this came out of nowhere, and you were like, no, they did not do a Red Dead 2 trailer. I was like, they totally fucking did. They did that, and they did
Gators.
dude. Okay, I don't know if I've seen this.
Oh my god, dude! I mean, you heard me in the beginning of the show.
Oh,
I'm a
God.
sucker for a good Western, and Red Dead
Right.
Redemption was the Western. That was the Western experience.
Spring 2018, pre-order now.
Oh my god!
You never know. I might.
So if this can even be half as good as that was, they're in a good place. Oh, not the Slender trailer again.
Why do we have to stop on this?
Please don't make me. Let's
Something joyful. How about this?
not end on a low note and make me watch that
Go.
garbage again.
I need to see a good
Yeah.
shot of this. We're looking at Naya. Yeah, perfect.
Oh.
Perfect.
Ding dong damn.
Yep. Ding dong damn. Watch the
that is-
Nino Kunai 2.
Yeah, that
trailer
thing.
with the sound. They physically. You want to know what?
I'm going to put the
sorry.
links on the.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the links in the description of this particular video. I am going to upload this to YouTube. We will have this show archived. I want to do that more from now on. So this show will be in the can for future viewing pleasure.
But look, if your game dialogue sits there and says ding dong and then damn, I'm gonna check this game out somehow.
The king of ding dong damn.
Damn. I'm gonna say that for the rest of the time. I pull my pants down.
This isn't a reaction channel, but you folks should have been there when Couchman just first heard that Weasel character say "ding dong damn."
Yep.
He almost blew the roof off with his laughter.
It was amazing. But talking about amazing, Red Dead 2.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This is my issue with Red Dead 2. I'll be this guy.
Oh boy.
I don't believe anything is perfect.
Right.
Was the first one so good that nothing is going to touch it? Is this even being a 8 out of 10 game? Red Dead 2 being an 8 out of 10 game, which is great anywhere else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be a failure coming off the ass of Red Dead Redemption? And I don't want to hear it. Yeah, but Red Dead Redemption is like the second or third in this trilogy. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. It's not anymore. I hate saying it. No one gives a shit about the first 2 games.
You're asking if
Is just being a good game good enough for that? For you. I'm not even going to say for business-wise, for you. If this is just a good
for
game.
me, yeah, if it's because here's my issue. I don't have the Red Dead game in my library.
How the fuck don't you have that? You have
Because
merely any other game.
Well, okay, let me go ahead and rephrase it. I do technically have it in my library, but it's for a console I no longer possess. And I hate buying a game because I've already done it like 3 times with a certain other game, some might argue overrated game, and I regret that. I don't like to buy the same game multiple times. So as for Red Dead, I hope this one is as good. I'm hoping that maybe they make it a little better, but I don't see how.
I was gonna say unless the damn game comes with an attachment.
It is
Basically
literally going to
get
have
you off.
Yeah, it is literally going to have to suck your dick.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, it's God, we're being such stupid fanboys right now.
Okay, fuck anybody who sits there. I don't give a shit. Okay, here, fuck anybody who sits there and goes, I don't want that game. Why? And you want to know what?
The only way I could see not liking that game is if you're not a fan of Westerns.
And I was just gonna bring that up. The Power Ranger buddy, didn't like it because it was a Western. And I sat there and I said, "Fuck you for saying that."
That's his problem, man. He doesn't know what he's missing. Let me tell you something. The westerns are a genre, the all in and of themselves, and they can be bad, but they can be spectacular.
Do you prefer good homegrown made westerns or spaghetti westerns?
I like the ones. I think I know what you're getting at here. I like the ones with Clint Eastwood.
So probably more.
And
spaghetti.
I like the ones with John Wayne.
That's definitely
those are homegrown.
Those were definitely homegrown, but
I like both of them.
Your favorite. Your favorite. Your favorite.
My absolute
Western
favorite Western of all time has got to be The Cowboys, featuring John Wayne. That is my favorite Western because that you will feel chest hair growing as you watch that movie. That is like the manliest movie that has ever been made, and I'm not even talking like the borderline homoerotic like the first Predator movie. I'm talking about actual what it means to be a man. And watch The Cowboys. You will grow up watching that movie.
That's what
guarantee
Viagra is made out of. Just liquidized cowboy movie. No. Good and Bad, the Ugly. I know it's a cliche one, but good God, if it's a right answer.
Hey, if you couldn't pick you couldn't pick a I mean, that's a good cliche to pick.
Yeah, right. Right.
That's a good one.
Right. I know because of our usual nonsense. Do you want to get into? I'm cool with whatever. Do you want to get into the other thing we wanted to get into with Red Dead 2?
What? Oh! You know, I was gonna say yeah, but I feel like I want to end on a high note. You know, let's.
Because why the fuck can't we all be happy?
So I'll leave you with this. Join us next time on.
Shut the fuck up! I have a damn issue with you.
Oh.
You giant flapping pussy.
Okay.
All right, people of KTV. I know you're waiting for something. I know the true fans heard the challenge that I brought up.
All two of you
that I have brought up. I don't know dick about that franchise. The challenge. I'm getting my chair back.
Yeah, get your chair.
That was good though.
I enjoyed that little outburst.
Right. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, the brilliance that is Chironius
Thank you.
has sat there and brought over back from the dead one of what is supposed to be the cringiest, the worst thing in all history, but it's so bad I dread it every single second. It is the cringiest OC. He sits there, he makes these OCs that are so bad that you couldn't even get a Rule 34 picture on it. Kids, look up Rule 34. But last time he brought it back, I was infuriated with it. And then I finally looked at him in the face and said, I don't understand why you don't make badass OCs. Why isn't it that? Why is the challenge not that? And then that sparked an idea. I challenged him to make the most badass OC versus most badass OC. And I let him choose the genre, universe, whatever you want to call it. And him,
that was a big mistake.
knowing damn well my lack of knowledge in this, picked fucking Zelda. The Legend of Zelda. This entire weekend for me has been looking up timelines, looking at theories, reading bullshit. Very interesting bullshit, but still bullshit nonetheless. Looking at fan-made, rendered nonsense movies about the history of it. I watched a 2-hour effing breakdown of the timelines 2 times in a row because I was like, wait, I didn't get this part. And I have one of the coolest, most badass OCs in the chamber. And I text him last night saying, are you ready to get your ass just destroyed by my OC? I know this is going to sound like a giant cop-out, but can we push this back a week? I understand why. You want people to know about it. You obviously have people texting and retweeting out, so it's working. But I'm a fucking pit bull on a leash that doesn't want to be on a leash right now. Oh, I want to kick your ass.
Oh, boy.
I want to drop just in like, I'm telling you, I am telling everybody, do you know this lore more than me? Yes. I have sat there and picked a damn timeline, and I know where my dude lands in that damn timeline. You are not prepared. You are not prepared. Oh. This is my WWF style shit talk before the main event. You are not prepared.
Yeah. I really wish we could be standing in the middle of a wrestling ring right now. Rather, no, I want you just standing in the wrestling ring, holding your microphone, going on this amazing tirade, waiting for me, and then all of a sudden you hear my theme music. I walk out, looking all cocky and shit. I got my entourage with me. It was like, oh, so you think you got what it takes to take on the big boy, the master of disaster, the king of cringe, Mayor Chironius himself, the man who's made an entire franchise out of making the most horrible, disgusting OC characters. You think that I can't just flip that switch in the opposite direction?
No.
Well, I think you're wrong, brother. I think you're going to find out tonight on Raw. No.
I was like, really? We're doing it now?
Ding, ding, ding. No.
Right.
We're not doing it now. I have a character. I put him together over the weekend. I think I could go. I'll go a little bit into the process of making him. It's got a lot to do with doing the opposite of what I see OCs do. Now, for those of you who don't understand, Couchman, I'm so sorry to have run over your impassioned speech there.
Oh no, that's totally fine.
Because you came at me with fire and fury that I absolutely respect. But when it comes to crafting a cringy OC, I always do what I see everybody else who makes these characters do, and that is I make them overly powered, overly exaggerated, completely stupid, and would never function in an actual good story. So I decided I'll do the opposite with that in this instance. Make a character who actually functions as a part of the world rather than trying to stand on top of it, which is what because that's the thing. For those of you who don't understand what an OC is, just go to fanfiction.net or DeviantArt, and look at people's ideas of what would be a great character for the Sonic the Hedgehog games or My Little Pony.
Ugh,
and what they always
run away, kids.
What they almost always try to do is they either overly sexualize it or they try to make that character absolutely overblown and powerful with no flaws whatsoever, kind of like Rey from Star Wars. No, so that's the challenge. I have to do the opposite of that. I have to try to create a character who is not cringy, who's not awful, who is in fact actually a good character who might actually work in a story.
I just want your guy to be like a fucking shopkeeper or something now. He basically runs the shoe, like the horseshoe.
He runs the shoe store.
He runs the horseshoe store. He's
oh
that
man,
guy.
He's
Old Man Jerkins.
So from the Old Man Jerkins, original OC, do not copy.
Right.
But yeah, that is the challenge, and we will see it come to a head on Tuesday night next week.
Oh, I don't mean to cut you off like you cut me off, but tit for tat. But we are asking actually for your help, viewers,
Yes.
listeners. I guess this is not viewers, but listeners. This is something we do want to. It is a cliche. New year, new us. Right? We're trying to hit more. We're trying to be better. We want the fans' help to tell me how much better my OC is than Mr. Old Man Jerkins over here. We're going to put this up on some sort of Facebook, some sort of Twitter, something.
We're going to get a poll going,
A poll,
absolutely.
yeah. And I want to sit there and say, if we go a week, if we go Tuesday is when we're going to do this, right?
Yep.
Unless you need another week.
I'm going to call you like the night of, hey, can we put it off another week?
I will cry. I need this to end because I know for another week it's just going to be me revisiting these effing videos and texts and everything else, and I don't need that. It's going to wreck my life. For people who actually know the Zelda timeline and everything else, like seriously, F off. That's crazy. You do not have enough things going on in your life. Do we want to give it a whole week to figure out who has won, and we'll say who wins on the next podcast from our little challenge?
We'll see. Because I'll get the
mine's
word
just
out.
going to be like 100-1.
We'll get the word out. I'll definitely try to get it out there. This is why I wanted to, because we're still
Right.
new at this. We're still gaining, but we are growing, and that's excellent. I'm happy about that. And I think this would be a great way to get the new year started. Because one of the main objectives of this is I want to get the listeners, viewers, whatever involved. That's so important to me. So hopefully with this we can get you more involved, get you more excited. Let us do you think mine is complete garbage, or are you right and think that his is complete garbage? We'll find out
Next time on Dragon Ball. Wait. Yeah, I'm just waiting for that challenge.
The Battle of the OCs. By the way, I still am totally going to keep doing the cringy OC. More cringe, more awful, more Terra bad than you can stand.
That's a promise.
That's the quality that Chironius TV stands on. Couchman, any final thoughts?
I'm going to kick your ass in this OC thing.
Young boy, you don't realize what you've gotten yourself into.
Oh, you were going to yell at me for a second there. I decided not to do what I was going to do.
But this has been Chironius TV, unless there's any further outbursts.
Well, matter of fact.
And we thank you all so much for coming out tonight. If you missed the show, don't worry. It'll be archived. You will be able to see it. And please feel free to check out the links below to the Facebook page, Chironius TV. Check me out on Twitter, @Mayor Chironius. I'm the mayor of Loserville. That's why the mayor thing. You know, people still call me by my nickname, Mayor, in real life.
I'm not going to. Where we work, everybody knows you as Mayor. So it's very odd to not call you Mayor.
I know. I don't know what to do about that. So I'm just going to let sleeping dogs lie.
Right.
But hey, I want to end on a good note. So looking forward to Red Dead Redemption 2. Hope it's as awesome as I think it's going to be, and especially for that game whose name I can't pronounce, Nino Kuni. Yeah. That looks like it's going to be fun.
We'll see you all at Ding Dong Dam.
See you next time. Later, losers.